Hello and welcome once again to Wizard World Virtual Experiences as the crowd emojis wildly. Let me see all those emojis out there. I want to see those thumbs up, those hearts, all those random things you can pick in Twitch. We are streaming to you completely free to the comfort and safety of your home with Wizard World Virtual Experiences and the cast of Pretty Little Liars. We'll bring out in just a moment. Some quick housekeeping things. This panel is coming to you completely free, as I mentioned, on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. But just know there are some fun, exclusive fan experiences that you can pay for as well, if you are able. So treat yourself, treat a friend, treat a family member. After the panel, our 40-minute panel, we will also be offering one-on-one video chats with each of these amazing actors. You can purchase one, you can purchase all 9, whichever you choose. Just know those will be happening at the top of the next hour and will be on sale throughout the panel. So definitely take advantage of those. They are available at wizardworldvirtual.com. Again, that's wizardworldvirtual.com. You can also scroll down on Twitch and check on or click on the Pretty Little Liars cast photo there, and that'll take you directly to the site. In addition to those one-on-one video chats, we are also offering autographs and video recorded messages for those actors that are choosing to participate in that. So definitely take advantage of those as well. Those will be on sale for the next few days. If you're watching this later, or if you're watching it live and looking for past memorabilia, and there'll be some Pretty Little Liars stuff up now on the Wizard World Vault, definitely check out the wizardworldvault.com. It is our best attempt right now during these tough times to create that virtual convention hall floor. So we've got memorabilia, signed autographs, amazing works of art and crafts from our artists and vendors. So show your love, support them as well at the wizardworldvault.com. We have folks watching from around the world. I'm going to give a quick shout out right now from California, South Carolina, England, Ohio, Canada, France, Philadelphia, Australia, New Orleans, New Jersey, the Netherlands, Pennsylvania, Germany, Israel, Connecticut, New Zealand, Germany, I said that already. Watching from around the world. That is how many fans there are, millions of fans from around the world for this show. Canada as well. I said that. I already said everybody. And we are excited to bring them out here. One of the greatest shows on cable TV from the past 10 years. One of the longest running shows. And not only just a long running show, but one of the best female-led running shows. And I think that is super important in this day and age. Let's bring them all out here. The cast of Pretty Little Liars. First, let's bring out Allison De Laurentiis herself, Sasha Peterson. Hey, Sasha. Thank you so much for joining us. Also, congratulations on your recently announced pregnancy that you just announced on social media. We're so excited for you, and thank you for being here. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. Let's bring the other 8 out here. We know her as Ashley, Hannah's mom, everybody. Let's hear it for Laura Layton.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Laura. Thank you for being here. Next up is Toby Kavanaugh himself. Let's hear it for Keegan Allen. Keegan with the backdrop, the virtual backdrop, fitting the beard. I like it. I like it. We're going to talk about that beard. We need to get fan reaction, or not fan reaction, cast reaction to the beard in just a moment. But let's get the rest of that cast out there. I don't know how spoilery we want to be, but we all know that Mona Vanderwall is a spoilery character. But let's bring out the actress who brought her to life, Janelle Parrish, everybody.
Hi.
What's up, Janelle? Thank you for joining us. You look great. I know, Janelle, you're saying you're having some Wi-Fi issues, but we can hear you. We can see you awesome. So thank you.
Okay, good. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's all part of this fun Zoom life of panels.
Part of the experience.
Yeah, part of the in and out of it. All right, let's hear it for Ella Montgomery, Holly Marie Cole. Yeah, what I like it. You just were like, here I am. Ready for that.
Here I am again. Nice to see you, Mike.
Yeah, we saw Holly last for the Charm panel. We're bringing her back for the Pretty Little Liars panel. Let's bring out next Paige Mccullers. Let's hear it for Lindsay Shaw. What? Lindsay, you're also a repeat virtual experience. We had you out here for Ned's Declassified a little while ago, so thanks for joining us again.
Yeah,
good to have you.
Thank you.
But this is the biggest panel we've had. 9 people. This is going to be insane. I cannot wait. Let's get out Lucas Gottsman, Brendan Robinson.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Brendan? Next up is Noel Khan, Brant Doherty.
Hi, everybody. Noel here. How's everyone going?
What's up, Brant? What's up? And last but not least, we're sorry for making you wait, Hugh. But we got Dr. Elliot Rollins, aka, or maybe it's the other way, Archer Dunhill, aka Dr. Elliot Rollins. Let's hear it for Hugh Collins.
Hello, how you doing?
Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is bananas. Who would have thought that we would be here in this Zoom chat with all of you from different points around the country celebrating this amazing series? My gosh. Thank you all so much for being here. I know I speak on behalf of the fans, again, watching from around the world. I don't know if you heard me in my little intro there, but we have folks watching from Europe, from South America, from Canada, from Mexico, from Central America. Cincinnati, the faraway land of
Who's from Cincinnati?
As well. And my gosh, I would just love to kick things off. First of all, shout out to I, Marlene King, the show creator, writer, producer, director, for the magic that she brought, obviously taking the previously written books and then bringing them. And y'all, 160 episodes, 7 seasons, one of the longest running shows of all time, but I think even more importantly, because of its celebration of strong female characters, one of the longest running female-led shows from all time as well. So shout out to you all. Such big fans watching from around the world. I just want to kick things off. Let's go around the room. There's 9 of us here. We're not going to all get to answer every question from all the fans. There's so many fans questions coming in, but I'd just love to hear from each of you a little bit about your personal experience with the fandom, with the fans out there. They are so vocal at conventions, online, social media. You all do an amazing job of responding to the fans. But just tell us about, we're 3 years out now, right? 2017, I think was like the final episode. I know we had The Perfectionist and such, but what has the fan experience been like? And why do you think the show is still living today and just thriving? Whoever wants to kick it off.
Sure, I'll do it.
Go for it.
Well, what I think is so great about our show was the fact that we were able to connect with people all over the world almost instantaneously.
Yes.
I think that was really lucky because Twitter had just started getting popular and we could talk to people that maybe necessarily wouldn't know about it at first and then hear their opinions, and just to be able to kind of connect this huge group of people, not just in our areas, but all over the world, is something that was really special and unique at the time, and has now just kind of grown into so much more than that. And people have grown with us, which I think was also really important. We shared so many different types of discussions that weren't really on TV yet as well. And I think that was really important. So it was a constant conversation and growth with some amazing people all over the world, and things like this with conventions, being able to talk to those people still and kind of still have that relationship is really, it's special. It's not something that everybody gets to experience.
Awesome. Thank you, Sasha.
Go people, go!
No one wants to talk. I'm gonna give like a contrasting version, because I think I was the last person to arrive in the show of everyone here, and so it was like obviously weird coming into the show with this already like very established fan base. Because obviously I think when the show started, it became a hit, and then it kind of became this runaway train. But I think it was cool coming into the show with a little bit of trepidation, because you never know what you're going to get, because the cast have been together for so long. But everyone was so accommodating and so welcoming, and it was so easy to Sasha was a little bit difficult, as everyone probably knows. But
Walk away.
from that, it was a piece of
no way.
Another thing.
No, I think I experienced my fan base as like the way I experienced my life, which is in deep polarity. Like I experienced a lot of love and I experienced a lot of distaste, and I sort of fed into the distaste a little bit. So I think it grew, for me at least, in my own personal life. But the love that I've been able to receive subsequently and consistently since is it's really mind blowing. It's the first time that I knew entertainment could have that far reaching a scope in personal matters, and that I could be a part of that. So that's basically how I experienced mine.
That's interesting, Lindsay, you mentioned that. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've always been so surprised, but also really, I've always felt really blessed to be able to go anywhere in the world and somebody will come up to you and say that they've seen the show and they've really been touched by it. And I'm sure we've all experienced that, where it's like you'll be in, I don't know, Europe or something somewhere, and people will come up to you and, you know, they don't even speak English. You know, the show was broadcast in a different language in their country, and that's been really amazing and just kind of eye-opening for me.
Absolutely. For me, it was interesting because I was playing a mother on the show, a mother of teenage daughters, and I actually had teenage daughters at the time, and so it was really interesting to see it through my own daughter's eyes as it grew, from the audience point of view. And then it was just an interesting parallel to hear about how they felt about it, and then to have this many years later. I just went to my first convention late in 2019, and it was so interesting to talk to people who had grown up through the show, and they were still coming back around to it, or mothers and daughters who watched together. And I really appreciated that at the time, and I continue to appreciate it now, that it's a show that mothers and daughters did watch together and continue to, as you know, now the show is available streaming and everything. It's just, it's still really taps into what's meaningful.
HBO Max, you know you're cool if you got asked to be on HBO Max, you know. So
And with streaming, a whole new generation of people are discovering it, which I think is really cool. People that you meet, and it's like they weren't even born when we started. they were infants. Yeah, that's been interesting.
Yeah, 10 years. I mean, 10 plus years. It's crazy how fast time flies. You know what I mean? But so cool that to your point, Laura, that it's about families, you know, rediscovering it with their children, which is what the show's about a lot, right? Is family relationships and such, which is cool. Keegan, you started saying something before, and I know you're in the woods over there in the forest.
Hello.
The background.
That beard.
No, it's one of those things that is resonant with so many people all over the world, and in a personal way. You know, we grew up with these fans. We all were. I was a very green actor when I got on the show. I first time I ever walked on a soundstage, and I remember the first group of fans that I met at a flea market, and I just ran into them again recently, and it's like they've grown up with the show.
They're stalkers.
Those are called stalkers.
Yes, Holly. I know that you know all about that. But actually, fun story, real quick. Holly and I, remember the first convention I ever went to with you was in Nimes. And,
I know. Hi bar. Hi.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
High bar. Holly was dancing with everybody and fans. But yeah, it was.
Wait, but we need to discuss this because it was literally in the south of France. It was me, Keegan, and Ian. It was the first PLL con, and they literally put us up in a chateau where like a family cooked breakfast and dinner for us.
Oh gosh,
and
awesome.
And then during the con, because it's France, they give you a 2-hour lunch break where they take you out to a local restaurant and they give you copious amounts of wine.
Whoa.
Yeah, and
Not how
my food.
Sounds awesome.
And then we would go back to the con, and there would be a million French girls that would just scream their names.
Whenever you say the con, I just keep thinking of Noel Con. Like, you know what I mean? Does anybody else think that?
You mean Noel Con?
Classic Noel.
But it is really fun, though.
It is fun.
This is not what it's really like.
It's not. But just really quickly, the fun thing is that all of these fans that have grown up with the show, you know, Marlene and all these amazing writers that we've had, they created these archetypal characters that everybody finds themselves in these situations and it's very much, it was very gender, even though very neutral, because I met a lot of guys that felt like they've gone through those cliquey situations or
100%.
strange, situations in school, and the show really handled a lot of things at the time that elevated situations that were not being brought to light in television ever before. So it's been wonderful to see
Choked out
fans.
by your doctor. That's supposed to be your husband. That one.
Yeah, no, I've had a lot of weird serial killers reach out and just kind of say, it allowed me to process some of my feelings. And that's been great for me, and them, I think. Which is awesome.
You're so right, Keegan.
Happy about that.
No, of course. The body issues, bullying, sexuality. I definitely want to get to that in a bit for sure. But let's just hear Janelle.
Let's get to that in a bit.
no, that's the show, and it's it's the reason why it had such a huge impact, for sure. And I've got a great question from a fan that I do want to bring up about the sort of the sexuality that's discussed and embraced, if you will, in the show. But Janelle and Brand, I just want to give you a quick time just about the fan love, you know what I mean? Like what has it been like to experience that from around the world?
Yeah, I think what Sash said, like this show came out right around the time of Twitter. And I don't know about you guys, but this show is the reason why I got Twitter, so that we could go to ABC Family at the time and do our live tweets. And it was really wonderful to be able to like have that platform to speak to our fans. And I'd never done anything like that before. And it really showed us, how amazing our fans are, and they continue to be. Like, we've been off the air for 3 years, and I feel like PLL fans are still so strong. I feel like they follow all of our careers. They're so supportive whenever we're doing something, and I feel like that's really special. So I feel really lucky that we have that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Noel?
To kind of go off that, I'll take the reins here. When I started on the show, I was really green as well, like Keegan. It's kind of like my first time I had ever really been on a set before. And I didn't realize how big it was going to get, I guess, until I started going to these conventions and seeing all the fans like face to face. And it's been wild. When I started on the show, I had never left the country. I never left America. Now I have my friends all over the world. So it's been incredible.
That's so awesome. Well, and so let's go into it. It has changed a lot of people's life. A lot of people have. Sorry, Sasha, what'd you say?
I said my dog is very heavily breathing right by my camera, so if you can hear it,
we don't think it's you. It's okay.
We can't. Sasha, a lot of love. I just want to let you know, a lot of love from the fans. They said you have a beautiful glow right now, and they're very excited that you joined us here today. So
it's the ring light.
It's the ring light.
She's really jealous about it.
She carries her own ring light.
Really does.
Ring light. Let's talk about the people, the fans that were affected by the show. Keegan, you bring up a great point. Not only, and the show doesn't bring, it's not important if you're male or female, right? As long as you're identifying with a person, that's what's most important. Everyone is equal. But and there are a bunch of fans: Wildfire, Obrev, Alice Redcoats, at El Montalvac, at Sasha Shea. I'm butchering these handles, but they all are part of the LGBTQ community, plus and transgender, and oh my gosh, and so many issues dealt with. And they just want to know if you all were aware at the time, like as the show was going on, the amount of impact that you were having on folks from LGBTQ plus, and also just, not even LGBTQ plus, if there were bullying, right? You know what I mean? Like body shaming, like so many different issues that young people go through. And I wonder if just anyone has any sort of personal stories or personal reflections on the series and the impact that it had on folks out there that were watching.
I can say I was super nervous about doing the show. Once, my agents and my managers called me and said, because when they did the pilot, they actually did the pilot with different Aria parents.
Oh.
There was 2 other actors and they were recasting. But my agent said, this is our favorite pilot of the year. And so I read the script and I felt like the sexual relationships were dealt with so perfectly and so honestly. But my trepidation was, I did the first teenage female kiss on screen on network TV, and we got in a ton of trouble for it. When I was Stop it, Lindsay.
I love it.
When I was 18, when I was 18, we got blacked out in some things.
Wow.
The network asked us to optically darken the scene so that you couldn't really see what was happening when they kissed.
Crazy.
And this was David Kelly's first show. And so David Kelly's David Kelly. But at the time it was his first show. And so the network was like, can you edit it out? Can you edit before they kiss and then cut back to after they kiss? And he went, no, that's going to mean that something more happened than, you leave it up to the imagination instead of showing it. And so their concession was just optically darken it, like turn out the lights, and that would make it better. So I was super, I was like, can we do this now? Are we allowed to do this now? Because I had such a personal backlash from it. And he goes, yeah, we're so allowed to do this now. And that was a personal thing for me, and a personal, even though it wasn't my character, that was a personal accomplishment for me to just be in a show that was able to do it without hate mail.
Wow, this is like giving me flashbacks of the black and white episode where Emily and I like slipped our hands under each other's bra straps, which I guess is like a thing for the times, and like I totally like respect what that was too. But I kind of felt like you saw this like sexual expression with all these other couples, and like I just felt like it was kind of like muted with the relationship that I was a part of on there. But I still think that they took every opportunity they could to break down boundaries where they were at the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that like people were ready for a sex scene like Spencer and Toby's or like Arya. And you know what I mean? Like, these are also like relationships on the show that have as deep a meaning, and yet like, I don't know, it felt different.
I think,
and I had no idea how far reaching it was. I was really pleasantly surprised by that.
Sure.
I think that with Emily specifically, I mean, this deals with Lindsay and I too. It's amazing what we were able to accomplish, because there were a lot of conversations that just weren't happening between parents and their kids that were possible now. I got a lot of feedback about how awesome that was, that I had the chance to talk to my daughter about it, or my daughter came to me about it, and it opened up so many doors in that way. But what I respected about the show was it wasn't always happy. Like, Emily didn't get great she didn't get a good response from her mom when she came out to her mom.
Yeah.
I think that was actually revolutionary, because it wasn't like, hey, you could do this and everything's going to be all fantastic and well. My dog is breathing so loud.
I actually did hear her that time.
Her dad had a good response to it, and it showed the contrast, and it showed how you can rely on those good people in your life, like your friends, to really support you. And if you pick those people, it can be life-changing. And Pam came around, and it was well-rounded. But even just little moments like that, it doesn't necessarily even have to be a sexual revolution that we're showing. It's more of something that's very real in a lot of people's lives that doesn't get showcased on a lot of teen shows, that we were able to do. And I really appreciated that. And playing such a girl was really fun in the beginning, but at the same time, I was really nervous about it, because I expected to get a lot of bad feedback based on that type of Regina George character. I mean, I blinded someone, for goodness sake. Like, there were a lot of bad things that we did on the show, and I was surprised to not have a lot of hate, which I feel like is a good and bad thing. It meant we were creating a character that people cared about, which is awesome. But it gave me the platform to talk about bullying in a different type of way, because I was playing that bully. So I think there were so many different types of conversations that we were able to start in ways that I never expected when we first started.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Sasha, too, that it was done in a real world manner. You know what I mean? It wasn't glorified. It wasn't done for gratuitously. You know what I mean? It took, not Sasha, you're Sasha. So Allison, all the way up until the end of the series to really finally admit, you know what I mean? Like who she was and
feelings and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there.
Any other folks out there?
I think one of the funny things that was, I don't know what the other guys think about this, but I think one of the hard things on the show especially was you obviously have your character and you have yourself. And I think this is kind of speaking a little bit to what Lindsay said, which is you're kind of playing a bit both sides. I mean, obviously, you my personal feelings about the LGBT community and what like Alison and Emily's relationship was on the show. I know a lot of fans, like I came into a bit of a storm of like Emerson, and I know Lindsay had the same sort of thing. And you're trying to balance up the fact that, like, from my personal perspective, I was like, yeah, Emily and Alison are great together. Like, I thought they were a really good, authentic representation of how tough it can be for, you know, young people who are, you know, trying to figure out how to get ahead in the world or get by in the world when they're not this like norm heterosexual thing that everyone thinks you have to fit into this box or you're not, you know, the norm. And I think that it explored that really well. I think what's difficult about it as actors is you're trying to like fight for your own character as well as like fighting for your own personal feelings, and that can be a really tough balance to tread.
Right.
And you don't want to like play into the hate, kind of what Lindsay was saying, but at the same time you feel like this urge to fight for your character too. So it's like a tough little balance to tread. I'm sure everyone else kind of felt a little bit the same way.
That's
with
what
that.
makes for good actors.
No, I mean, that's a great point. That's a great point, Holly. I mean, they brought together an amazing group of folks. We barely tapped into it here. You guys are all amazing, and we're missing a bunch, but the cast, you know, really like brought it to life. So we appreciate it as fans. You know, everything that you did. Brendan, you started to say something a little bit there.
Touch on what Sasha was saying, where it's like we displayed different moments that people could talk to their parents about, or the mothers conversations that parents could have with their kids. One of the things that I think we did really well from an artistic standpoint is that all of those moments were still related to story.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily like, this is the issue of the week, which I think a lot of traditionally teen soap operas veer into that territory. And I think it did a really good job of making it nuanced.
I totally agree. It flowed. It was part of the storyline, and it never like missed an opportunity to be poignant. Like, and that's I guess that's the ending bit that I take from all of it.
Well, and one of the best parts of the writing of the show, I feel like, is the twists and turns that it did take. And it never felt forced or like put on upon. It really was, we never knew what was coming. Is that the puppy, Sasha?
Damn boy.
Puppy.
Puppies
That's
always.
Hudson. What's Hudson doing in the room? What's he doing?
What are you doing, Hudson?
No matter how serious we get on these, puppies always take over. It doesn't matter. Let's keep the conversation going sort of about those storylines. Brant, Janelle, Keegan, Laura, maybe just because we didn't hear you on the last one. Wesley Lamb is wondering, was there a storyline that was particularly shocking to you, like as an actor, or felt like, oh man, this is crazy, you know, this is like coming out of nowhere? Or maybe just one not only shocking, but also maybe that was most memorable for you as a character.
When my character remarried her cheating husband. And
Good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When my character fell on his own axe, that was pretty shocking.
I was actually
not see that coming.
choose that.
The whole
Brant,
show.
Literally did not see it.
Oh man, I was actually going to choose that
I'll
one
have to
too.
go
That
Brant
was a very
because I felt-
shocking moment. I was like, they're going for it with the gruesomeness. Like, damn.
Yeah, and then Jenna kicks my head.
And it rolls down the stairs, doesn't it?
That was savage. It was a savage move. The kick was savage. That's the
Dude,
single biggest moment. I was like, she can see, goddammit. She can see. I swear.
Why did I give her the gun is the question. Why would I give the blind girl the gun?
Also, like when they do that
turned it.
storyline for a little while, it seems like Toby is so heartbreaking. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I was so glad
That
when
was
you weren't
probably
actually.
the most upsetting. That table read where we found
Oh
out that
gosh.
it was. Yeah, I freaked out. I was not happy when Keegan was A for a hot second.
Yeah,
Now he would make a great
No!
He'd be perfect.
No!
So excited
That
about
started
it
out freaky. Not okay.
because this
Getting
character.
married alive was a weird experience. That was
Oh, you got buried
that
alive,
was
right?
really fun.
Buried alive. Yeah. Their fans were actually asking how it was. How did it feel to get buried alive, Sasha?
I'm not claustrophobic. I'm not scared of that type of stuff. It doesn't bother me. And I thought it was going to be really fun, but it was really strange. I have to admit. It was around 4 in the morning. It was one of our night shoots. It was a real 6-foot freshly dug grave, like earthworms. sat on me, very real. And I had that lovely yellow shirt that was sleeveless, so I felt all of it. We had fake lightning over me, so I couldn't really see. And I distinctly remember our prop guy Adam, who's one of my favorite people, like laughing like a serial killer might as he's shoveling dirt onto my body.
That's not okay.
Not okay.
But I remember, and I had to have my eyes closed in the scene until the very end. So that was just very disorientating. It was interesting.
Oh my gosh. Keegan,
Yeah.
who
Did anyone else get buried?
Andrea.
Andrea.
Yeah, Andrea.
Yanni got buried too, didn't he? Or
I got
something?
uncovered multiple times. I think
Probably.
4 or 5 times I was pulled out of my own grave.
So you had to go.
I
That was
got buried
fun.
maybe in the same spot that you got buried in. I don't know where you got buried on the lot, but I got buried I think in the same spot.
Andrea and I got buried in the same grave.
It sucks. It really does
Right
suck. It
after me.
actually, it's not. There's no like TV magic with the burials. It's like Sasha said. It's cold and dark and horrific.
Yeah.
Genuinely awful.
They on my face, instead of throwing dirt on my face, it was ground cork, which isn't much better.
Oh.
Ground what?
Why is that
Cork,
better?
like wine
Oh
cork.
my God!
Why
Can I
pork?
tell you
Pork
that
up in there.
I heard pork. I heard.
Ground pork.
Ground
pork.
That'd be great. That'd be amazing.
It's
That
not
would be
nice.
so
You should
savage.
get
Pork,
that.
pork.
I guess cork makes sense, right? It's like breathable, like you can breathe through it. It's not that heavy.
Not
Yeah,
really,
it was
Mike.
like all the wine that I had been drinking for wine. Yeah.
It was karma.
Save
Karma's a
your
bitch,
pork,
girl.
save your
Karma's a bitch.
I think that's the best part of the show, though. To be honest, is the horror side of it. You know what I mean? The like super like the thriller. Maybe thriller is the best way to describe it. Rhett, you mentioned it got gruesome, but again, that's what kind of kept us like. It's that that thing that keeps you coming back week after week to see who's off next or who's going to be the killer. Things like that.
Family matters too. There were relationships. There were ships. There was like vestige human emotion.
Good segue, Holly. Good segue, Holly. People want to know
Well-
favorite ship. I know we have a lot. I know there's Emerson, Ezria, Haleb. I mean, that's just like 3 of them. Paley. And let me get these fans and make sure we shout them out. But they want to know your favorite ship of the show. It's Sophie Troyan at Datos Isabella C at Catal Mele. I think that's French. At Julian Van Sant. Favorite ship. Go for it, Holly.
Spoobie?
Spoby.
Spoby just came up.
Spoobie.
Everyone's voting for Spoby right now on Twitch and Emerson, obviously. But Spoby's
Spoby's
big.
my favorite because I'm biased and I experienced it. But my second favorite is Spoby. So other than mine, Spoby all the way.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
I'm a Haleb shipper. I love
Me
you.
too.
But I do love all the other ships. All the love.
yeah.
Very
Oh, I
good.
heard
But
it.
Haleb is
I was a Spoby fan too, but a little biased. I hate him.
Keegs, I know you love the ships. What was your favorite?
I honestly, what's funny is like there was a scene that we all shot with all of our ships with everybody that was like in a relationship on the show. I think it was in the last episode actually.
Yeah.
And it was so special because these were essentially fan-made relationships that fans actively were part of creating alongside Marlene King.
They demanded.
All these people, they came forward and they're like, we enjoy these people together. And what was so amazing is the writers listened to the fans and really sprinkled some magic on them and every chance that they had. And it also really taught me a lot too, because I was in my early 20s during the show, and I learned a lot from my character in this relationship on the show. I learned a lot about how to be romantic and how to be a better person, a better partner, a better companion through what Tobias was doing in these relationships with Spoby. And also there's something magical about each one of these relationships that people can take away in their own way. That being said, I did enjoy Spoby. I did enjoy Spoby scenes. I really loved working with Troyan, and I think there was something there as well as like friendship, but there was just a huge amount of respect from both sides as actors, because at the end of the day, this is a job that we show up to, and sometimes we forget we're at a job because we're having so much fun in this other world in these other shoes. And I love hearing that people love Spoby. That's so special.
Yeah.
I loved it too.
Well, everyone related to the characters differently. You know what I mean? Like depending on their own personality. Right now, Twitch is going hardcore for Spoby, but then Facebook's going really in for Haleb. So even just between two social media platforms, there is a lot of contention right now. Let's keep this going. Again, another big one. I'm sure you've had this a bunch, but this comes from @Datos Isabella C again, Lizzie 04368059, and @Abby14 Proctor. Favorite. It's going to get a little spoilery here, but if you're watching and you haven't seen the series, turn it off now. Go binge it on HBO Max, and come back. But if you are watching it, which I'm sure most of the people live are, favorite A is always
Ezra.
Oh no.
I'm gonna be mad at all of you.
Oh, no.
Say OGA.
Original.
OGA.
OGA.
OGA for show. OGA.
All the way.
You can pick other people besides Janelle, everybody, if you want.
No.
No, she'll come for us.
Wait,
She'll
you
come
guys
for us. She's got a
remember-
mean streak.
Wait, do you guys remember? Wait,
Oh.
Lindsay, you remember when we shot the multiple A's?
Oh,
so we had
yeah.
you, we had Tyler,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
we all wore the.
That's put on my sassy face.
Hoodie.
Like,
And it was actually, there was two reasons why the network wanted that to happen. Was one, because if there was a leak, it would be all of these random videos. And then the other reason was because there was a possibility it could have gone anyway. There was no deciding moment yet on what that next episode was. So that's fun.
I was
Well,
so grateful though that Paige didn't end up in the horror though. You know what I mean? Like she deserved just to stay in the room.
Army Wives or something.
Wait, what's that, Ollie?
You went to a new show.
Wait, what?
Didn't you go to a new show? You and Tori went to.
Oh
a new
yeah,
show.
me and Tori DeVito both. We went and
Threw a wrench and everything. By the way.
really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know any of that. They don't tell me anything. I didn't know anything at all. That's really funny. Well.
You know what, Brandon? I cannot believe you worked on something else. You ruined everything.
I'm
Everything.
so sorry. I didn't know.
Thanks,
Could have been
Brent.
the big bad guy.
I personally ruined Pretty Little Liars. That's wow.
No, you didn't. Dude,
Ouch.
you
What an
did
achievement.
Because of you.
a lot.
Laura, you're being so polite up there and just allowing everyone to take over. It's been so fun. But yeah, what a memorable, you got memorable ship, memorable memorable story arc from your character as well that sticks out to you.
Well, memorable story arc is, I guess, with my own character running over Detective Wilden with the car, and then
Yes.
like it never
Yes.
happened.
Bryce.
And yeah,
Dedication.
Bryce, who just does nothing but make me laugh and smile. But
Bryce is searching for Bigfoot now. I watch him on what is that?
What?
network now? Yeah, he's like Aliens Bigfoot. He's like an investigator.
yeah,
I
Really?
watch his show. He's great.
I
Anyways,
need to DVR that right now.
yeah, get right on that. But yeah, we called him Defective Wilden, and it was yeah, no, that was really fun. But then the thing that became the lasting moment was that Hannah was having nightmares that her mom was going to jail over this. And there was this scene, the nightmare scene, where I was in the orange jumpsuit and the terrible like wig of like I'd shaved my head in jail or something, and I
You had the bald cap.
yes.
I forgot about that.
So I get a lot lot of nice look, Laura. Like
There's a lot of memes out there
Top
with
of my
that image.
yeah, that was
I don't know
fun.
about you, Laura, but I really, really loved the orange jumpsuit. It was great. It was my favorite.
It looked
favorite outfit
comfortable.
ever. It was so comfortable.
I had
It was so comfortable.
secretly I kind of had a lot of fun wearing it. It was super comfy. Yeah.
I want to segue for outfits. Obviously, fashion and beauty are a big part of the show as well, and shout out to all the amazing costume designers and set designers. You know, they really brought that world to life.
Andy Line.
Yeah, like really felt like we were in there. Quick thing. I'm gonna cut my own self off for a second, just to remind the fans that you've got about 15 to 20 minutes or so. If you've got an Uber specific question to ask these cast members, definitely take advantage of those one-on-one video chats. A lot of the money is going towards charities. A lot of them are giving extra time. So definitely, if you can treat yourself right now, do that. They're still on sale. But I want to talk about the costumes, because usually the question we always get asked is, if you could play another character in the series, who would you be? But I thought this was an awesome spin on that from Dreams of Deus. If you could wear another person's outfit, and this is non-gender specific, y'all, because that's what the show's about. If you could wear another person's outfit, who do you think had the best outfits in the
Toby
show?
and Judy.
Spencer. I love Spencer's wardrobe.
Yeah, Spencer's was pretty great.
Yeah.
With his sweater vests, so he's out.
Full equestrian.
It's also, yeah.
And then Aria was like the Met Ball campaign supervisor with her outfits. We loved everything she was always in, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say Aria had the coolest like accessories. She always had those giant earrings that were like bigger than her face,
and yeah, just like
giant shoes.
I love my Mandy line. And here's the thing, doing the Pretty Little Wine Moms podcast, every time there's an Ezria scene, I go, let's just focus on Aria's fashion choices right now. Makes me super happy.
Good.
Holly, we need to do this again. Holly and Laura, we need to do this again with some wine. You know what I mean? And just let it go for like 3 hours.
Oh, they've got it.
Our Wine Mom
Right
podcast
there.
Yeah.
it's launched today. It's out today. And our first guest is Marlene and Laura. In our second episode, we have Troyan, who says a lot of kind things about her co-stars, including Keegan. Our third episode is Mr. Fitz, who I talk about a lot of fashion. Our fourth episode is Norman Buckley, who's our favorite. And on the fifth one, I don't think I'm allowed to say yet, but everybody's welcome. All is welcome.
Holly, you said you just dropped the first episode today. Where we're at?
We did.
Awesome. I guess we can find that on the
podcast is live. I'm sorry, I don't listen to the final edit, so however it came out is not my thing.
Girl, full control. We love that.
That's a very trusting editor. I like it. We're about out of time. I just wanted fans always are curious for a show that lasted so long, had numerous spinoffs, has so much fan fiction and expanded universe to it. We do, we always are looking for that reunion special, that movie, that 7th season is, that again, the additional your characters joining that are still alive, but there's always flashbacks, obviously. What are your thoughts on continuing the world of Pretty Little Liars? Not professionally or business like, just personally, like, or do you enjoy the world and would you return to the world if you could?
I can say just from the response to the podcast that everybody loves reminiscing and talking about it again and would go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, same.
I'm living out Toby's life right now.
And Sasha, when we talked to Norman about The Perfectionist, I mean, he was mad. He was like, I don't understand why they didn't give them more time. Like, I mean, he's super invested. If there's a campaign, The Perfectionist back on, Norman Buckley is leading it right now.
Norman's the best.
There are for sure campaigns. I'm sure the fans are going to post them right now. If you are leading one, there's so many awesome fan sites out there and fan handles and things that are hoping for a Perfectionist season 2 revival to come back. So fingers crossed. But we're out of time. My gosh, this went so fast. It was so amazing to have you all here. Thank you for all that you did and all that you gave us. Again, speak on behalf of the fans when I just say thank you for creating such a cool, amazing, unique series that really touched on a lot of real world issues and how real people deal with them. So thank you. I want to go around the room though and give everyone just one final shout out. Again, fans watching from around the world. It's had a worldwide reach. I know some of you mentioned it at the beginning, the love for the fans, but any final thoughts you'd like to say for the fans out there? Whoever wants to start, and we'll get everybody in.
Just thank you guys so much for being the best fandom ever. I mean, we're so grateful for all of you.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. And continuing to show your support and your consistency, and really appreciate that love and all the perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for growing with us. Yeah, loyalty grew with us. Now there's a whole generation of new people watching it, which is super special. And I'm just glad that it touched our lives, but also that it touched yours, and that we can connect on this. And even though we're not in the same place, we still get to really relate to something that really affected all of our lives.
Yeah, I would say that we all like love coming to conventions. It's kind of a bummer we can't all be together right now because there's nothing quite like all being in the same space. But I mean, I think we all find it crazy when we go to all these different places, and it's like the energy and the enthusiasm is insane. So we're very grateful.
And I also think that people talk about how the show affected them in their lives, but it's affected all of us as well. And it's because of our experience together, but also because of our experience interacting with the fans. The fans have been incredible on this experience, and I think it changed all of our lives to have that sort of interaction.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah.
I love all of you guys too. I've had so much fun over the years.
Love
with
you.
all the,
Love you guys.
Zoom.
Guys,
Miss you.
We're all part of something with everybody that's watching. We're all part of a bigger family, and what started out as a job really became part of our lives in such a shocking way. But I loved every minute of it, and the ride with you guys was wild, and it still continues to be so special.
I'm about to.
Cry now. Don't make me cry now.
I know. I was about to say I'm about to buy a goddamn rice maker because Keegan keeps going on about these things. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Did they use rice makers in the jungle?
I think you have to boil your own rice in the jungle.
Right. It's a very
Loyalty
high
from
tech
the
jungle
fans.
Keegan has.
Yeah, loyalty from the fans, and loyalty really, or lack thereof loyalty, and that what the show is all about, and family and relationships. So it's cool to see it with you all as human beings and actors, and then translate to the screen, and then see it from the fans that are watching. So again, watch it for the 10th time, watch it for the first time. It's all on HBO Max right now. Give one more big round of emojis, everybody, to the cast of Pretty Little Liars. Let's hear it one more time for Hugh Collins, Grant Doherty, Brendan Robinson, Lindsay Shaw, Holly Marie Combs, Janelle Parrish, Keegan Allen, Lauren Layton, and Sasha Peterson. Thank you so much for being here.
So nice to see you so well.
Congratulations again, Sasha. Congratulations
Thank you guys
for the series.
Congrats,
you guys.
Sasha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here.
Love you guys. So fun to see you guys. Love you.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Thank you. So many hearts coming in from around the world. Thank you all for watching on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. We, of course, tried to get it to as many questions as possible. The best way to submit those questions is not only live, but via Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Wizard World. You can also tag me. My name is Mike G. I'm at Mike G Does Things. But thank you all once again for joining us. If you had a specific question for a specific character, a specific actor, not only about Pretty Little Liars, but about the rest of their amazing work, definitely, if you are able, purchase those one-on-one video chats. We are streaming this and these panels to you completely free, but we also have some awesome paid experiences as well going on. Not only those live one-on-one video chats, that'll be happening over the next couple hours. You still have about 15 to 20 minutes or so to purchase those. But we also have autographs and video recorded messages from those actors that are participating. This cast has been awesome. They're super receptive to the fans and are going to show that love in those one-on-one video chats and in those video recorded messages and those custom autographs. So definitely take advantage of those if you can. Those are all at wizardworldvirtual.com. Again, that's wizardworldvirtual.com. You can also scroll down. We'll also throw it in the feed and click on that cast of Pretty Little Liars, and it'll take you directly to that page. In addition to those amazing experiences happening now and over the next few days, we are offering signed memorabilia from Pretty Little Liars from past physical conventions. Also, awesome art and memorabilia from our artists and vendors at the Wizard World Vault. So head to the wizardworldvault.com. Shout out to our sponsor of the week, Misty Mountain Gaming. They've got some awesome, solid bone die for all you RPG gamers out there. Their link and picture is underneath me in Twitch. We love them, and we try to show them our love and support. We've got some amazing other panels coming up. Officially announced for next week. We're going to take the weekend off, but officially announced for next week is the cast of LA Law and the cast of Runaways on Saturday. But stay tuned, y'all, because we have the cast of Teen Spirit, Krypton, Caddyshack, another group of Gotham actors, the originals, cast of the originals, the cast of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., some of the cast members throughout the entire Star Wars universe. We have voice actors, live actors. Oh my gosh, it's going to be awesome. Happening next weekend. Another set of amazing folks from the cast of Once Upon a Time. That is just to name some things that are going to be announced for next week. So stay tuned. Keep following us at Wizard World on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow me. Submit your questions for the panels at Mike G Does Things. It's been so great. Legacies is coming up, Private Chase. Don't worry. Just not next week, but it's coming up. Legacies is coming up as well. If you've got a suggestion for a panel, go ahead and DM us on social media. You can also email customercare@wizardworld.com to submit your suggestions, and we'll see what we can do. Obviously, everybody's schedules are different. If you have any questions about how to head to your one-on-one video chats, you should have got a email with a confirmation, and then you go ahead and click on that ticket, and it'll give you all the instructions to take you to your Zoom meeting with your live one-on-one video chats. If you just purchased them over the last hour, be patient. It'll be coming out the next 20 minutes or so. But have fun. On behalf of Wizard World Virtual Experiences, my name is Mike G. I've been your host and love hanging with you on all 3 platforms as always. We will see you next time. Stay safe, stay healthy. Much love to all the folks in Minneapolis and other parts around the country that are suffering right now. We show nothing but love for them and hope they can get through this as best as possible. Shout out to the first responders and essential workers that are working out there. We hope we gave you a brief break from your day. And shout out to all of you that are stuck at home. Again, we're going to get through this together. Stay strong, show love, and we'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone.